Well, dingleberries.
It's a movie version of a cartoon family you can see for free on TV.
But they stretched out the plot and added a wildebeest from the hood.
I am so there.
Let's get another one of those cartoon collection videos. That's 6 movies from 6 different shows and franchises, all that I have some kind of love and nostalgia for. Oh, and they had to come out in theaters. I did the TV one separate. Movies like Recess or Hey Arnold are left out because I spoke about those in these two, and no Doug because I wanted to have fun, sorry. These are cartoon theatrical movies. I'll do the adult cartoons in a separate video if y'all like this one.
Hey! God, come on, man! Leave me alone! Damn! You're mean!
Sorry.
This ain't televised, they telling lies, but promise I won't. We been patronized, they taking lives, I'm on my way home. Relax my mind about half the time I'm watching cartoons for knocks how I'm locked in my room. Of course they resemble my skin when I watch too. Hypnotizing, tannic, how I follow through the vibes. Okay, dreaming mama's proud as if she looks through Penny's eyes. I'm a man of the house like Oscar. You deceive, I believe need Oscar. James Earl when I speak, I'm a Fossa. Gotta swerve in the streets, never block us. I go, feel more, just try to make you feel more. Through the halls I felt storms. Looking at me cause I don't like what you like, you feel torn. Should've smacked your light slick back, you ain't seen pimpin' before. For the stars I shoot pimpin', no boy, you best set the score.
And now another special report on Rugrats Movie Madness! We now take you to New York, New York. The Big Apple was ripe with Rugrats rumors that were finally confirmed today. The Twin Towers have been renamed Bill and Lil.
Hey, now we can finally tell them apart. I love it.
Rugrats Movie Madness, changing the world one diaper at a time.
In 1991, Nickelodeon practically invented the original creator-driven kids cartoon overnight with Doug, Ren and Stimpy, and Rugrats. Oh, nice. We're talking about the only one of these that I like. 1998's The Rugrats movie is honestly the reason that you're even watching this video for real. Animated movies were really popular in the 90s, but nobody could even come close to touching those Disney Renaissance movies. But the Rugrats, they were the first ever non-Disney animated movie to gross over $100 million at the box office, leading everybody else to go, shit, Negro, that's all you had to say.
Ooh wee, look what that money make a bitch do.
That led to the era that I, and if my analytics mean anything, you grew up in. Everybody wanted that bread, they was just doing whatever. The Hey Arnold movie was supposed to just go on TV, but no. We like money. Just shade Arnold, Gerald, and Helga and nobody else, who cares?
Me.
The Doug movie was supposed to go to video, but they threw that out at the last minute too. I guess that's why it's in 4x3.
Roger.
That one's not in this video because I fucking hate Doug. I know I said it earlier, I just wanted to remind you. Every movie in this video is in some way tied to the existence of this one movie. There is absolutely no denying the impact. Shit, they should study this in film school instead of The Birth of a Nation. Rugrats is at least racist by accident. Unless Dee Dee is pregnant with her second child and Stu makes the Reptar wagon, voiced by Busta Rhymes.
No human being is supposed to tell you you can't even breathe freely. Fuck your mask. I'm saying. Some of y'all might feel differently.
That he's gonna use to enter this kids' toy contest. The winner gets $500. $500? That's it? Man, I couldn't get you a pot to piss in today. They was straight scamming them niggas. Man, watching Rugrats as an adult is so stressful. Stu need to get it all the way together immediately.
You barely make ends meet now. You got no insurance, no savings, and another kid on the way.
This nigga Stu finna crash out. I can't believe this. He just like me for real.
Excuse me, bro. My tax deductions are
Crying. You can't deduct them if you don't have any income!
Shit! Dee Dee gives birth to Dill, Tommy's new baby brother. Tommy and Dill meeting for the first time is very sweet. Part of it due to that score.
This is your brother Dylan. Dill, this is Tommy. Baby.
I love that Tommy spends the first 15 minutes thinking that he has to buy his mom a baby, and he tips Susie's mom with this little chocolate coin thing, but it's even more sweet that she just accepts it. This shit is sweeter than that Kool-Aid from House Party.
You could drink that, Peanut. We out of here. Look at all that sugar. Just thinking about drinking that stuff makes my teeth hurt.
Holy shit, how is he still going? Angelica kicks the Reptar wagon while the babies are still in it, leading them to riding all throughout town and into the woods alone. And because of how they interpreted the story of The Wizard of Oz, they decide that they need to meet the lizard to grant them their wish and bring them back home. And it's really funny that it just turns out to be Stu at the end.
You make me wanna, like we having sex.
Man, watching Spike risk his life for these babies is just as cool as it is fucking brutal. This nigga stood on business. Like 25-year-olds pretending to be 15 like to say. That's they slang, bro, just stick to the cat daddy. The whole movie, the babies just really wish that they could go home. But it is so heartbreaking watching them give all of that up just to wish for their dog back. What they're doing has no merit at all. They don't actually meet a real magical wizard, but it's real to them. And because you were there with them, you really feel it. It's so sad. Tommy just like turns to everybody and Lil just nods in approval.
We wish we had our doggy back.
Man, I'd cry if my tears weren't reserved for when I have to pay student loans. Bill took Cynthia with them when they drove off, so Angelica pops out with Spike to get her back, so we follow her for a little bit too.
You know, not all dogs go to heaven.
Oh shit, what the fuck she say that shit for? I love how this movie somehow found something super interesting for every major character to do, besides maybe like Howard and Chaz. Even a character like Charlotte doesn't do much in the grand scheme of things, I guess, but they give her this really great moment that I can't stop thinking about when she ignores her work for her family. No dialogue at all, but if you know these characters, this is the most cathartic and impactful thing ever. I love stuff like that. I was a little lost this watch because they lay out all this groundwork with Stu, but to my memory, he doesn't have anything figured out yet by the end of the movie. Why establish all these things in his life if they're not going to be paid off? But about a third into the movie, I realized that it's all just there to push Tommy's arc. Dill is the baby brother, the one that doesn't know what he's doing, the one that makes messes, screw things up, and makes things harder for the people around him, even though he's not even trying to. And that's exactly what Stu is in adulthood, being Drew's baby brother. And we get this moment where Stu, in the middle of beefing with his big brother, still tells his son the right thing.
Sometimes little brothers, they aren't everything you'd hope they'd be. That's why big brothers have got to have faith. And one day, you'll see, you'll change. You've got responsibility now. I know I can trust that you'll stick by Dill's side and be a swell big brother.
Stu is practically speaking from Dill's perspective here. You can tell they really thought about this. I think it's easy to think that Tommy doesn't understand the concept of responsibility because that's kind of just what he calls the watch that his dad gave him. But it's clear that he does. He knows that he is supposed to take care of Dill and make sure that nothing happens to him. Not even because he'll get in trouble either, he's won.
Still? What?
It's because his pop tells him that it's the right thing to do. And I think because of that, it is so rough when he finally gives up.
I don't want my responsibility no more!
Same, bruh. Shit, you see how much rent is now? I'm finna start selling dick.
Dill wants monkeys, and monkeys want bananas. Oh, everybody gets what they want.
A lot of this movie is a bunch of walking around and wandering, which normally would be a downside, but I don't know, I think that's what makes this one kind of cool. These are genuinely some of the greatest cartoon characters of all time. Their personalities and relationships really carry this thing. Phil and Lil spend the entire movie just complaining and complaining on and on about how much they just do not fuck with Dill.
Oh, bitch, bitch, bitch.
Shit, I guess it makes sense. What you gonna do, say they acting like babies?
There's a bike trying to take Tommy's brother! So?
Chucky very much does not like Dill either and is very clearly annoyed by him, but he still puts all of that aside because he knows just how much he means to Tommy. But Tommy gets so consumed by trying to take care of Dill that he starts to leave Chucky behind, and that really affects him.
Tommy, why didn't you help me? Oh, I'm sorry, Chucky, but Dill, he needed me, and then he's just a baby.
Tommy is Chucky's security. He helps him feel safe, and when he's fucked up, he can always count on him to be there. But suddenly, because of Dill, he is not there for him at all. Yet the second Tommy needs to find Dill, he's the first person that he turns to, since he didn't even realize he was doing anything.
If I'm your bestest friend, then how come when I got thrown up on, you didn't help me? And when I falled over, Marge, you didn't help me. And then when the monkey dropped me, you didn't even care about my boo-boo.
The babies come together when they realize how much they love and care about Tommy. They all extend themselves to help him out in his time of need, just like he's done for them throughout the entire show. Chucky does the bravest thing he's ever done up until this point, all to save his best friend and his brother.
I am Reptar, the perfect children's toy.
He driving that shit though, bro pulled up like Vin Diesel. I've been watching All Grown Up a lot recently. I'm slowly trying to put together a retrospective for that in the background while I work on videos like this. And I think the coolest thing about that show is that we get to see these characters we've only known as babies have real, complicated relationships and discussions with each other. Something they just could not realistically do in Rugrats. But this little arc right here is probably the closest thing they've ever gotten to that point in the original show. At least between the babies and their relationships with each other. Okay, side note, but there are actually several dick jokes in this movie, like more than any other movie in this video. Anybody else find that concerning?
Riding high, it's a guy. Well, you know what they say. Born under Venus, look for a... Hello?
How can you be mad just because you're, standing there, naked? I mean, I'm sorry.
Fam, 2 of these are from the same song.
Man, they cut my cord.
Oh, consider yourself lucky.
This world is way too bright.
Can somebody turn down the light?
So that's what that thing looks like.
Hey, alright, so like, I know I'm not one to rant about when cartoons don't make sense, but even as a kid, the song with the babies in the maternity ward broke my damn brain. If they can sing, why can Dill only say shit like yucky and poopy?
Well, I guess we'll have to change his diaper. What do you mean, Rick?
For the record, I audibly gagged when I heard that shit noise. I am so sorry if you watch these while eating. One of these babies is played by Fife Dog.
Fife Dog.
Why do they all sound like grown adults? And they're saying full sentences with none of that broken Rugrats language? I hate when cartoons don't make sense, bruh. I'm swinging on the next nigga that stepped foot in my house.
I can barely hear myself sock.
And who could forget the soundtrack to this movie? The Take Me There video? Are you serious? Life was so cool until I grew up, bruh. I ruined everything. Who can forget such vivid storytelling and lyrics like Chucky is scared and Tommy is sad and feeling little misses their mommy and dad? This shit broke the mold right here. No wonder hip hop died after this. This was the first time the Rugrats were animated digitally. I remember seeing this in like a documentary from when I was a kid. It was a real big deal when shows started to switch over since the technology was so new. So many shots in this thing are just them showing off all the cool shit they can do now. I always love this shot of Angelica. This is probably my favorite bit of character animation in the whole movie.
I didn't know she could fly. I think it's because she's a witch.
It's definitely a little rough around the edges. If you look hard enough, you'll see things that definitely tell you that this is their first time using this software. But I don't know. It just feels like everywhere you turn, they're just doing something cool with the camera. These big shots that really show you the entire environment, that really show you that scale in space. They play with the focus a lot. It's a really cool looking movie when you're not thinking about how all the white people look kind of gray. Equal opportunity. For a lot of this, they just kind of use real clouds. It looks just as cool as it does surreal. This shit coming like Sit Down, Shut Up. This shit coming like The Amazing World of Gumball. This shit coming like Heavy Traffic. If you're a kid, don't look that up. Also, stop watching my videos. I'm not gonna lie, I think I might have underestimated how much I love and care about Rugrats. And by extension, this movie. This shit really fucked me up. I'm feeling real big picture show vibes. I had a really great time, but also, I can't help but feel like everyone has been super unfair to this thing, despite its quality and massive impact on culture for a few years. I'm not trying to put anybody on blast, especially because I've seen this happen in many other places and discussions too, but I tweeted about how much I love this movie this watch, and all anyone could do was talk about the second one. Besides my nigga Kiwi, who definitely makes videos. I completely understand everyone's attachment to that second one. Chucky and his arc, the emotional weight and nostalgia, but I think we do this movie and everything that it does a devastating disservice by not letting it be spoken about and praised on its own. You should be able to say, I like this one, without someone else in your ear whispering, you know they made a better one, right? The Rugrats movie is really, really good. Great even. And I think people need to say that more often. It's sweet, it's funny, it is so cool to look at. And it laid the groundwork for not only a brand new era in television to theater adaptations, but the back half of one of the most iconic runs in animation history. And how many movies can get to say that they did that? Real quick, today's video is brought to you again by Factor. You know the vibes. Factors take the stress out of meal planning and set you right up for success. Get the grocery store prep work and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietarian-approved meals delivered right to your door with over 35 meals to choose from every week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, and so much more. If you're looking for like gourmet meals, they got you too. Try meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon,
Open up her legs to filet mignon.
shrimp, truffle butter, broccolini, and asparagus.
That pussy.
They keep surprising me, bruh. Look at these juices. I didn't even know they made these. You can't have mine now. Get your own. It's always a good feeling having no idea what you're gonna eat, opening the fridge and seeing the Factor. I'm finna have one right now. Shit. Sorry, y'all. I couldn't wait. Can't vibe on an empty stomach. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code ToonRificTariq50 to get 50% off your next Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code ToonRificTariq50 at factor.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. Oh my God, bro, come on, so good.
Only in theaters this Friday.
I am a dog who wants to be a boy.
The Dog with a Dream is taking over the big screen. When you take one crazy dreamer...
Excuse me?
...and add one mad scientist...
It's alive!
Moo.
That's a good start!
You've got a Disney adventure for the whole family.
Time sure flies when you're changing species.
Disney's Teacher's Pet, rated PG. Only in theaters this Friday.
It's not exactly what I had planned.
If you're real, this is the part of the video you were excited for. Teacher's Pet was a Saturday morning Disney cartoon from 2000 about a dog dressing up as a boy and going to school with his owner who, I'm not sure if bro is supposed to be white or ashy, or both? Can you be both? I did not know a single person who watched this shit growing up, at least not any normal people. If you're screaming, oh I did at your screen, I definitely said normal. Think about the kind of video essays you watch. Yeah, right, exactly. That little LS mark in your watch later does not make you cool. Go ahead and ash that blunt. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, but I still can't believe that this thing went to theaters in 2003. Shit, they can't believe it either. It's the last day of school and Spot still wants to be a boy bad as shit. He even dreaming about it.
I wish I was a boy. I wish I was a boy. I wish I was a...
Leonard's badass mama is up for a teacher award in Florida, and the principal lets her take his RV for the next 2 weeks to get down there. Hey, whoever wrote this has some real beef with Florida. This is not like us levels of hate.
665? Oh, it must be the next one down that away. Florida, land of surprises.
Yeah, I guess if you want to call these surprises. Man, did you see how many of those were this year? It's July.
Florida, it's just Jersey with palm trees.
That is not true. Fuck y'all. They have to leave Spot behind, but while he's watching TV, he finds out about a scientist out there played by Sideshow Bob that turns animals into humans.
After this experiment succeeds, the world will never again call me Wacko. And that includes you, mommy!
Bro is on 10 this whole movie. He need to sit his happy ass down somewhere.
Call me Daddy!
Spot pulls up to Florida with Leonard and they get to the scientist. He turns him into a human, but the shit runs on dog years, so now this nigga got like a mortgage and shit.
I live with this guy. At his house. In his room. I sleep on the bottom bunk. Although now that I'm a big grown man with knuckle hair and lower back pain, that may present a slight problem.
When Spot turns into a man, that's when this shit just goes off the rails. I'd probably throw up if I was Leonard. It just keeps getting worse and worse. The plan Spot comes up with to stay in his life is marrying his mom?
Oh, call me daddy ass nigga?
Call me.
The second I started to feel bad for Leonard was having to watch him earnestly yell this line.
Are you crazy? You can't be my dad! You're my dog!
Like, no child should ever have to say this. What the fuck? In a lot of ways, I think this is one of those ones that can really work as a standalone movie, even if you're not familiar with the cartoon. I can really see why they went with just calling this Teacher's Pet and not Teacher's Pet the movie or Teacher's Pet's first movie. The opening song does a really great job establishing the show's premise, its characters' relationships, the situation, and their status quo. We understand what it means to Spot to be human, how Leonard feels just wanting a normal dog. You feel so familiar with everybody by the time the plot kicks in. You low-key don't even need the show for real. And at the same time, it being a grander, expanded, more theatrical version of the theme song is really satisfying enough for fans. They don't care that this is information that they already knew. It just being the show's theme just gets them pumped up, reminding them that this is the cartoon that they came to see. Like this opening scene with all the kids saying how they'll all spend their summer. It's probably really cool and makes a lot of sense to somebody who remembers who these three niggas are. But even without the context, everything still works and you don't feel left out. And yeah, I needed a segue to talk about something else, so here's Meg.
What? Why are you cutting to me?
This cartoon is so cool to look at. Visually, I love every single frame of this thing. The expressions are consistently expressive. There's always something cartoony going on. The director put all of his Brandy and Mr. Whiskers stink on this, and you can very much tell. There's even like a light texture on the backgrounds, kind of making them look like they're acrylic painted on canvas. And it's really cool to see a theatrical animated film with thick, loose outlines. That is way more rare than you probably think. Or not. I don't know, y'all. They do a lot of things with the camera and background to make this thing look bigger, more cinematic and spacious. Like this opening shot is gorgeous, just panning through this village. Or the character acting, especially when they're feeling really big emotions like fear or anger. They even hit niggas with a rack focus. I feel like I'm in film school again, bruh. But if you want to know where that cute little $10 million budget went, look no further than this shot right here. Holy shit, it's still going? Hey, enough of the formalities, okay? Y'all know what time it is. It's horny o'clock.
I just wanna ask it. I just wanna help, baby.
Now I know what you're thinking. You couldn't possibly want to fuck somebody in this ugly ass cartoon, right? You niggas underestimate me.
Oh, for goodness sakes, where did I put that?
Whoa, whoa!
Come do it to me! Come do it to me!
Silly me.
Wow! I love this Teacher's Pet shit, bruh. Woo! So I was gonna write a joke about Leonard's badass mama. But I think this message I sent to the group chat is probably funnier than anything I could have written. This horny shit take effort. I'm finna start hiring ghostwriters.
Well, that was strange.
I love you. I want to take you away from all of this.
Alright, that's all the horny shit you get before the neighbors call the cops on me again. Hey, jokes aside, why'd they let them do this? This cartoon is for 10-year-olds. In the back of my mind, watching this movie is the most stressed out I've ever been when making these stupid ass videos. I do find joy in analyzing media, but at the same time, I just want to watch something sometime. And my analysis brain just refuses to let me do that. Because this whole thing with Scott wanting to be a boy, Leonard being totally against it, this shit is just screaming trans allegory to me. And it's like, bro, why am I even thinking about this during Teacher's fucking Pet? Can I just watch the movie? Again, no hate if you read it this way. I just hate that I can't turn my brain off. The film opens with the Pinocchio stuff. Spot sees Pinocchio get his wish and he wants his wish too. The instrumental from When You Wish Upon a Star is used throughout the movie every single time he brings up his dream. It's clear that the movie is at least attempting to point us in this direction. That we're supposed to just look at this as this wish that this puppy has, as simple as a wooden block becoming human. but I don't know if it is. The cartoon is about Spot living his dream while still being a dog, and everyone who knows that he's doing this is telling him that he shouldn't. Pinocchio doesn't have Geppetto telling him that he'll never be a boy. He wants that shit just as bad as he does. Shit, it's his wish. Pinocchio just happens to want it too. Leonard spends 90 minutes begging this puppy to stay as he is. He consistently tells him that he will never be a boy. And it ends with Spot basically going, yeah, you're right, my bad, I'm a dog. So even though they try to frame this in a way to where that this is his own personal realization, if you choose to look at it as an allegory, it is really, really messy in that regard. But then again, it's fucking Teacher's Pet, the movie. How are we even having this conversation right now? And I think the reason I feel like I shouldn't be thinking this way is because I don't think they did this on purpose. Because if they did, I don't know if this is the conclusion that they would have gone with. It's sort of like barking at them for something they didn't mean to do. Pun intended, I guess. This was 2003. This was not last week. It is extremely possible that not a single hand that touched this movie back then had this cross their mind once. I think this really is a movie that is trying to specifically be about this boy, this dog, their relationship, and how they were clearly made for each other. This is not a story to insert yourself and identify with what these characters are going through thematically. This is about Spot, Leonard, and their relationship over 47 episodes of television. And if you look at it that way, just specifically what the text says and nothing more, it's a really sweet movie for anyone who's ever cared about these characters or even owned a pet. Leonard and Spot's relationship is really sincere. They really get across that boy and his dog bond. Even when he's a man, Spot gives off immature puppy vibes. I joked about Leonard yelling at his dog to not fuck his mom earlier, but him and Nathan Lane blew me away in this scene. Their performances are so big and emotional, and the cartoonish acting and the animation really kicks this up like 10 notches.
This is not okay with me. You have to stop liking my mom right now. I command you as your master.
Former master, Leonard. I'm not your dog anymore.
Well, I sure as heck am not your kid. So maybe you just better leave me and my mom alone.
And honestly, I don't think I said anything, but this movie is very funny. I had a big smile on my face while watching a lot of this stupid shit.
Saints preserve us. Say goodbye, Floyd.
Top of the morning to ya.
Ooh, it's alive. It's alive! That's a good start!
Now, let's just hope I still got enough dog left in me. Oh!
Huh. I wonder, do I have that dog in me?
Oh, word?
They really made Teacher's Pet, huh? And that shit was hard too, who would have thought? I know it's funny to look at this and ask, why did they make this? And I don't think we'll ever actually get an answer, but I think it's even cooler that they did make this. A show that wasn't relentlessly popular still getting a chance to make that leap that very few, if any, get to make today. We live in a world now where everything has to be a super hit just to be treated with some kind of care and thought. I look at something like Teacher's Pet in retrospect after 20 years, and I'm just reminded of how cool it is when you just let people cook. When you try things, when you throw things at the wall, when you roll a dice and see what sticks. And even if this one didn't, it definitely stuck with me.
Long after school is through. Yeah.
My crown! Someone has stolen the royal crown!
On November 19th,
the fate of Bikini Bottom rests in your hands.
I'm going in.
get ready for big adventure.
Let's get it on!
And big surprises.
Oh my gosh, you have a mustache!
When Sponge meets World for the very first time.
Who are you?
I'm David Hasselhoff.
Hooray!
The SpongeBob SquarePants movie, rated PG.
Ocean man, take me by the hand, lead me to the land. Ocean.
The year 1999 brought us Futurama, Family Guy, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Home Movies, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Mission Hill, Mike Lewenog, Rocket Power, Downtown, Batman Beyond, Little Bill, and SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't know, I've never really been the biggest SpongeBob fan. I even had a phase where I said I hated it for a while as a kid, but there is no denying the impact and how timeless certain episodes and characters are. And now I'm gonna get a million comments about SpongeBob slander because nobody understands complexity or what the word slander actually means. Shit. shit, where did that come from? The SpongeBob SquarePants movie from 2004 is probably the one on this list that makes the most sense. Maybe besides like Rugrats. SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward.
Pass.
SpongeBob and Patrick have to go beyond Bikini Bottom to Shell City to retrieve King Neptune's crown after Plankton set Mr. Krabs up using the lemon-scented Plan Z. Plankton went from writing Plan Z and calling it that to just forgetting that Z is even a part of the alphabet. They do a pretty good job with the arc SpongeBob and by extension Patrick go through in this. It's always one of the first things I think about when this one comes up in conversation, which is a lot because normal people only know like 5 cartoons. The Krusty Krab 2 opens and SpongeBob has never been more confident in his life. He knows that manager job is waiting for him because of how hard of a worker he is. He gets on stage and he makes a complete jackass of himself. Krabs' words, not mine.
I'm making a complete what of myself?
This jackass always a weasel.
The reason he doesn't get it isn't because of his work ethic. It's because he's immature, and this really bothers him.
I'm ready. Depression. I'm ready. Depression.
Now this is me when a video underperforms. So this was me last month, and the month before that, and throughout the entire movie. Even after bravely taking on the most dangerous mission ever without a second thought, he is constantly made fun of, belittled. Nobody thinks he can get to the destination, let alone grab the crown. The worst of it is these yeehaw niggas that laugh at him at the gas station. Oh, there's a snake in my boot ass niggas.
Floyd, take off your hat in respect. Respect for the dead!
He is basically fucking bro in the ass right here. This is some of the freakiest shit ever animated.
They start fucking, it was gross.
The movie also goes out of its way to show you that there is some truth to it. These niggas are immature. They need to get it the hell together. They almost die blowing bubbles. They almost die getting ice cream. Everything around them is telling them to grow the fuck up.
Patrick, you've been wearing the same goofy goober peanut party underpants for 3 years straight.
Ah, gross, this nigga nasty. There's the part near the end, everyone knows it, where SpongeBob and Patrick are taken by the scuba diver after he steps on Alec Baldwin. And he puts them under a lamp to like dry them out so that he could turn them into like a keychain or something. SpongeBob gives this really sad speech about how they didn't make it. It's always rough to hear every time I watch this one.
We were doomed from the start. I mean, look at us. We didn't even come close to the crown. We let everybody down.
They realized though that they actually did make it to Shell City, the place no one said they can even come close to because of how immature everyone said they were. SpongeBob and Patrick both die happy knowing that at the very least, they proved all of them wrong. Even if they don't make it back, they proved that they could get there, and that is enough for them.
We did all right for a couple of goofballs. I'm a goofy goober, yeah. Goofy, goofy, goober, goober.
Look, R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah.
The villain in this, Dennis, played by Alec Baldwin, is cool. I like the fit, I think. Never mind, this nigga kinda like Roger. I never noticed it until the last time I watched this, but Plankton tells Dennis to step on SpongeBob and Patrick because that is exactly what SpongeBob does to him earlier, which I completely understand. SpongeBob stepping on bro earlier might be the most disrespectful thing ever animated.
Ooh, I think I stepped in something.
King Neptune's a lot of fun too. Patrick won't stop flirting with his daughter, who is definitely 16. My nigga, do we need to have a talk?
You're hot.
I don't know, man. I don't know how old these niggas are, but Patrick is definitely a homeowner. That should already be grounds for life in prison. Get him off the streets of Bikini Bottom immediately.
Did you see my underwear?
No, Patrick.
Did you want to?
Oh, it's sex offender.
It's cool looking at the little enhancements they did to the animation. There's some small shading on characters like Plankton. This little filter they put on Bikini Bottom to really make it look underwater. It is very pretty. The colors are definitely deeper than the cartoon too. I always think that that's the right decision to go, but I've seen other movies mute the colors and they look just as good. I think that this is the cartoon at its happy medium, at least animation wise. The second movie is a little more stiff and grounded. The newer seasons are super loose, to the point where I've heard some people say that it's just like a bit too much. But this is big, expressive, and loud, but it's a little more subtle and knows when to pull back and actually make the characters look normal for a little bit. When you do that, it really helps when they actually are expressive to really stand out. The super good looking stuff is definitely in the live action sections. It looks cheap in the best way possible. It's like a pretty good elevation of the old school looking live action they do on the show. Is that a stingray? Oh, this nigga definitely died. This is definitely some kid's introduction to David Hasselhoff, some kid being me. I did not know who this nigga was. I just knew he had to be important if he was saving SpongeBob. Was I right? I guess it depends on how you define important. There's so many sections and pockets of this movie that I just can't even imagine my life without. SpongeBob and Patrick getting drunk off ice cream will forever be funny. These niggas got chocolate wasted. This is what me and Johnny Two Cellos look like on the 4th of July. The hungover SpongeBob design is so fucking funny. I cannot believe how bro is animated.
And this man has got something to say to you.
It's for the bitches, nigga. And of course, there's that iconic Goofy Goober sequence. Can't forget that. I'm a Goofy Goober! I don't really have anything in particular to say about it, but I knew if I didn't mention it, y'all would have rolled my dick till next Christmas. I guess if I were ever to have an issue with this movie, it kind of has the same problem as the first Hey Arnold movie. They picked the two characters that we definitely care about the most and really zero in on them for the majority of the narrative. And while you definitely understand why, and I don't even think they made the wrong decision, anyone who knows either of these shows know that the main characters are only part of the reason why you watch. It's that rich, fleshed out cast. You don't have to focus on them, but at least let us spend a little more time with them. Sandy has 2 lines, Mr. Krabs literally cannot speak for 40 minutes. They act like Squidward is about to get involved in a plot, but nope. Washed. You don't need to do a Hey Arnold movie with Phoebe as a prominent character, or a SpongeBob movie with Sandy. They can clearly exist without those things, but you should, they're important. And when everyone's around, it feels more like a celebration of the show, at least in my eyes.
There! I think I made my point.
How can you not at the very least appreciate the SpongeBob movie? It's silly, it's funny, and some other third thing. If you watch these kind of videos, you don't need me to remind you how good it is. But yeah, it's probably just as fun as you remember it being. And it did so well, it opened up the doors for many other movies to come. Too bad it's the only good one.
Are you crazy? I was just gonna tell you that your fly is down. Manager, this is the greatest day of my life!
Coming up is the part that is the best.
Oh, that nigga oh, my shit too, nigga.
I think Tariq might be like the cause of Family Guy rehabilitation in the cultural
I believe so.
Not all superheroes wear tights and capes.
What?
Some wear pretty dresses. And they're out to save the world before bedtime. The Powerpuff Girls movie. Rated PG. Now playing.
They're coming through and fighting, and everyone they're shocking. You know no one can stop them all because of the chemical X. Now that you see.
In July of 2002, the Powerpuff Girls, one of the first shows real niggas think of when they hear the words Cartoon Network, got their own theatrical movie. The very first Cartoon Network original to do so. Kicking off a strong line of one fucking movie. I always thought that wasn't fair. I would've ate up a Johnny Bravo movie, maybe like a really big action heavy Kids Next Door feature. We could've had it all. I wonder what made them not spin the block. Yeah, that'll do it. The Powerpuff Girls movie is an origin story. Professor Utodium mixes sugar, spice, and everything nice to hopefully create some little girls that can help their shitty town be a better place. But while he's doing that, his monkey hits him, creating the hardest looking directed-by shot out of every movie in this entire video, but also knocking him into the Chemical X, creating Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. 3 little girls with superpowers. The real heart of this movie, at least for the first 10 minutes, is watching the 4 of them become a family.
This is the best gift ever, Dad.
Yes, it is.
They do a really good job getting you to understand that everybody in this house was made for each other. That shit ass, nigga. Bubbles can't draw for shit. Fuck out of here. When the girls end up going to school, nigga, what is that? This don't look like it need to be censored. The girls play this game of tag that turned the entire town against them, and they lock the professor up, leaving the girls alone. The girls do not know anything. They are clean slates. They were literally born yesterday. And the professor thrust them into the world, into school, and everything, without teaching them arguably the most important rule to teach your kid. One that's so simple that it is very easy to overlook. Do not talk to strangers. And that's why they end up trusting Jojo, his monkey from earlier that was affected by the explosion. And he wants to use them to make monkeys rule the world, I guess. Excuse me.
You're not a monster. Monsters are evil. Yeah, and anybody who'd save us like you did is so not evil.
You're no monster, mister. You're just really dirty.
You kinda feel for Mojo, bruh. This nigga is around so much monkey hate. No wonder he wanna blow this shit up. Like, fam, I understand the evolution chart, but damn, he gotta be worthless. Bro said, I'll show you worthless. And then he did. He bust their ass. It is very amusing that Mojo's plan just consists of making every monkey in town just as annoying as he is. This what I would do if I ruled the world. Just a bunch of self-hating, SWV-loving motherfuckers that don't know how to level audio.
Shall rain on your parade because
See, now these niggas, they would have had to die first. Through this, you see the girls slowly get introduced to things that come natural to them now, like saving people. Bubbles being the first one to save somebody makes just as much sense as Buttercup being the first one to get angry enough to smack one of these monkeys around.
Get your hands off him, you darn dirty ape!
R.I.P. R.I.P.
The coolest thing about these kind of origin stories is watching the characters become themselves. And there's a lot of that in this sequence. Here's my favorite one.
Not so fast! Mojo Jojo!
He said it! He said it!
Also, skipping ahead a bit, but they actually never call them the Powerpuff Girls once in this movie. The narrator just kind of pitches it to them at the end. I always like that.
The Powerpuff Girls! Hey, that's a good name for them. I like that. Wonder if they will. I'll run it by them. Powerpuff Girls.
Real quick, today's video is actually say that. I guess we're not supposed to talk about how there's definitely people inside these buildings, right? No way the mayor evacuated the town. That nigga was just talking about pickles the last time he was on screen.
That's him, boys. He's in cahoots with the evil pickle cop killers, cucumber crushers, vinegar varlets, dill destroyers.
Holy shit, how is he still going? The look of this movie is fucking incredible. The animation is still flat and limited, but in the smartest way possible. The backgrounds, the colors, especially the colors, the posing, everything is on 100 to make this thing feel as big as possible. I can't get enough of this shit. I completely forgot about this shot that starts in Mojo's lair while he's laughing, and it comes out his window, into the city, out of the city, and into the girl's window. Like, golly, how do you even do something like this in this style? I love how all the characters are designed and how they translate to the film, but this watch, I was blown away by their work on the professor, practically as soon as the movie started. He goes from cartoonishly flat to being welcoming and like full of volume so seamlessly. I'm not really sure how they did it. Every single pose of him throughout this thing is remarkable. And even beyond that, it's just a smartly made cartoon. They don't animate a single frame that they don't have to. They get across everything so simple and with so much style too. Like, look at how this shot is done. The animation is mainly on the hair and to make sure that everybody's mouth moves, but it looks like so much more because of the background and because they're slowly being tilted. You still feel like you're in the air with them. The tag sequence is some of the most creative storyboarding and directing I've ever seen in any of these type of movies. I know that 3D ball was just them kind of showing off, but this scene is relentlessly iconic, full of endless creativity and energy. Alright. When did he get this license plate? They were literally born last night.
You know, I've got a nice car.
Crazy part is, bro probably smashed after this.
Oh, is this one of your cards? I love you.
Bubbles has this really interesting, I guess you could call it, design flaw. It's always been there, but it's something I noticed as a teenager rewatching this movie. Her bangs come down as two curves identical to what Buttercup and Blossom look like when they're scared, sad, or upset. But because of Bubbles' bangs, she just cannot do this emotion. She does not make this face throughout the entire movie. So in scenes where her and her sisters are sad, she's just kind of looking at niggas. They fixed this in that Powerpuff Girls Rule special from 09, but this is too late, I'm not gonna lie. And if you want to see me talk about that, join the Patreon. Got an 8-minute video up there about it. Yeah, give up some of that bread. I know you got it.
Money.
Money!
I've seen this thing so many times, I think I might have taken some of these sequences and storytelling techniques for granted. The whole thing with Mojo and the girls getting ready, the girls bringing the professor to town just full of optimism, and they cut back and forth a bunch to really sell that juxtaposition. This builds up to that gut punch when they find out what's really going on. It makes it hit so hard.
Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, I couldn't have done it without ya!
Another thing I noticed, I always really like this hug the professor gives the girls after all of the action happens and he tells them how much he loves them.
We love you too!
But I don't think I've ever noticed that Mojo hugs them the exact same way when acting like their trusted father figure early on. That's a really cool detail. Everybody always talks about this shot that's clearly just drawings of all of the artists, but have you ever noticed what Mojo is saying about them? It's the funniest shit ever. He's saying that the artists don't give a shit about the girls.
The ones who hated you have forsaken you?
I don't really know what to say about it, but the scene on the like space rock thing is so good. The colors always stood out to me. How you can only see the color in the girl's eyes, but even how it's written, it's just such a tightly written argument where you can see where both characters are coming from. And Bubbles just being kind of in the middle, sad at just the situation and not anybody in particular, is a nice touch too.
What was I supposed to do? We weren't gonna get people to stop hating us by breaking rules. Oh yeah, and using our superpowers to make help that town and make it a better place machine was following rules!
And I always thought it was really sweet that they try to ignore all the people's cries for a while, but the very second they hear the professor is in trouble, the girls leap into action.
Professor!
Well, what do you know? I said I didn't know what to say about it, and then I proceeded to say something about it. Oh well, won't be the first time I lied to y'all. And it won't be the last. Daria video coming tomorrow, nigga, fuck.
Hey, fuck it.
If you really think about it, this movie is really about the professor and his bumbling mistakes being thrusted into parenthood. It is very clear that he doesn't know what he's doing. The seconds after he names them, he literally leaves them in the house for hours to go buy them gifts. The girls use their powers and destroy the town during that game of tag because he never had a conversation with them about the fact that they're different, normal kids do not have powers. The girls do not understand this before they go to school. They do not understand that people live in these buildings, that the world isn't their playground, nothing. And when the girls tear up the town, he does not tell them to use their powers in moderation. He tells them to suppress them and not use them at all. And instead of communicating to the girls that the people are rightfully upset because they broke all their shit, he tells them it's because they're different.
Out in Townsville, people don't really understand just how special you girls are yet. And unfortunately, people often get scared or angry when they don't understand something special or unique.
And he hammers this in even more when he comes back from jail.
It's this town. They've gone crazy. It's like they've never seen kids playing before.
Nigga, it's cars flying, buildings blowing up and shit. Fuck playing. This shit look like terrorism. I would have shot the shit out Bubbles.
Why are we talking about killing kids?
The professor blaming the girls' powers as the reason why everybody hates them is directly linked to how they feel about their powers.
What amazing powers!
No, they're terrible.
I bet everyone hates them.
Yeah.
And they hate you too.
Yes.
And it's because of this internalized hatred that Mojo is able to so easily take advantage of the girls and their insecurities. The town is rightfully angry. They hate the girls. They think they're monsters here to ruin their lives. But Mojo is everything that the world told them that they were, and they really understand that by the end of the movie. The girls bring themselves out of their insecurity with their powers. It's not anything anyone says or does. And when the girls realize what their powers can really do, like really do, not just that shit Mojo was talking about, they instantly understand what they were created to use them for, whether the professor knew it or not.
You said to give everyone a little time to understand our specialness. Well, now it's time for everyone to understand, especially Mojo.
Most of the little boys I grew up with, or even men that I've had this conversation with in my 20s, despite being big fans of the show, were not allowed to see this in theaters because of their parents, because it was for little girls, about little girls. And if I know anything about the demographic of people who watch my videos, I'm pretty sure that this might have happened to some of you. The point of the Powerpuff Girls has always been that juxtaposition, right? These cute little bug-eyed girls that look like they should be teaching you lessons about sharing, maybe teaching you a language or something, are violently beating the shit out of a monkey every week. And that's what every little boy loved about it. This shit was dope. But to go outside and publicly buy tickets for your son to see this movie about little girls, this thing marketed with all this cute pink and bubbly shit, this movie with That's What Girls Do playing in the background of the TV spot, hell nah, nigga, fuck wrong with you? It's for the bitches, nigga. It sounds really fucking stupid, and that's because it is, but I promise this is how people thought. I don't think this is the solo reason why this movie didn't do well. That would be implying that majority of this show's audience was boys, right? Also, that they didn't throw them out during the most disgusting fucking weekend ever. This shit came out on the same day as Like Mike, a movie starring the biggest kid rapper about the biggest basketball player, and Men in Black 2. What the hell did you think those girls was gonna do? They couldn't even beat The Bourne Identity. This shit came out like a week after the Hey Arnold movie.
Why would you do this? Why would y'all have a mid-off in the middle of the damn summer? You're embarrassing yourself.
The fuck up with this shit. Yeah. Enough capping. Your nigga lost. It's over. Have you landed? It is over. Hello, my man. It's over. He lost.
I cannot imagine what else you could possibly want me to say about the Powerpuff Girls movie. But honestly, I could do this all day. It's one of my favorite movies ever, based on a show or not, animated or not. It's pretty, it's sweet, it's cool as fuck. If it's been a while since you've seen this, you need to do yourself a favor immediately. Like I said, when this came out, the Hey Arnold movie came out like a week before. I actually saw both of these in theaters as a kid. Regardless of how you feel about that movie or this one, if you're an animation fan, you gotta agree, what a fucking cool time to breathe air. Two of the biggest cartoons from that time were being animated bigger, marketed bigger at the exact same time. And that was somehow normal. There was a time where Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network directly fought each other in theaters. And they both fucking lost. Is this the best timeline? I can't tell. Shit.
It's for the bitches, nigga.
This holiday season, something untamed, something unbelievable,
I can talk to animals. My butt's gone to sleep.
and something unexpected
Does your sister talk like a monkey, dressed like a gig? Yeah, you get used to it.
is coming to a theater near you.
You will have your own challenges.
The Wild Thornberrys movie.
That is so wrong.
Rated PG. December 20th in theaters everywhere.
No bullshit, The Wild Thornberrys might be one of the middest cartoons that I grew up watching. If you still love that shit, you probably still don't eat the crust on the side of your sandwiches like you 5 or something. But man, I'm not gonna lie, the Wild Thornberrys movie from 2003 is really interesting. It might be the most interesting movie in this whole video.
That is so wrong.
This movie was even nominated for an Oscar. Now, I'm not gonna say for which one, original song, but I think it's really cool that the one of these kind of movies to get nominated for an Oscar is the one that feels the most different. I wonder what they lost to. No way, I love Mom Spaghetti. Eliza Thornberry is given the gift to talk to animals as long as she don't tell nobody. When a cub she was playing with is kidnapped and taken by poachers, which she does her very best to stop.
My baby! Girl, get up! Girl, get up! Girl, get up! Girl, get up!
Her family gets really scared for her well-being and sends her off to a London boarding school. But most of the movie is her finding her way back, finding the cub, and stopping the poachers. Hey look, this ain't no little cute, grounded narrative. This little girl is in constant real-life peril practically from the beginning. This is one of them ones where I don't even know how you go back to living a normal life after surviving some of this shit. It's funny though, because I think this might actually be one of those movies where you don't actually need the cartoon. They open with Eliza's origin story, which, just like Teacher's Pet, is just the show's intro, so it appeals to both crowds. Like the Rugrats movie before it, this thing is very cool to look at. Classy Supo really knows how to make these little ugly cartoons look pretty. All the stuff in the Amazon is so massive and spacious. So much of this is just taking you through the environment. The colors too, they sort of found a way to make this thing look dusty while they're out there in the Amazon, but it does not stop there. The stuff in London looks really good. These night colors. There are several 3D comp shots that take you like all throughout the convy, really makes you feel like you're inside. I don't even have any more descriptors for it. This movie is very cool looking. Out of all of these, this is the one that feels more like an actual movie than an adaptation of a TV cartoon. The fact that it's in a different aspect ratio really does help push this thing. Even tonally, this just kind of feels different. I think that's really what makes it the most interesting. The characters, the kids especially, don't even wear their normal outfits from the cartoon. I think this is the only one of these movies to do that. Hey, this ain't your daddy's Wild Thornberrys. Well, unless you're like 10. Then I guess it is. There's a lot more space and air. It's grander than the other movies. There's a lot of really slow, quieter moments. It's not as like loud and fast paced. It really shows that these kind of adaptations can be anything. I was a little bored this watch because it was pretty slower, but I don't think that's the movie's fault. Maybe watching this after Teen Titans Go to the Movies wasn't the best idea in the world. When characters go missing and people are really frustrated, there's no blaming and pointing fingers. Instead, everyone gets on the same page and supports each other.
She'll be fine, Marianne. They all will.
Well, how do you know, Colonel?
Because they've been raised by you. And quite wonderfully, I might add.
Eliza gets almost all her updates about the poachers and everything from the animals that she's able to talk to. And that's really what ends up getting her in trouble with the villain. She knows so much that she couldn't possibly wave it away with an excuse anymore.
And then somehow you knew the poachers had shot him at the river. Yet you were on a train at the time.
And now you arrive in the jungle knowing about a fence which no one witnessed being built. Who told you?
The emotional weight in the last third of this movie shifts. Because before this, it was strictly Eliza and her guilt over the cub being taken away. But the villain, very terrifyingly might I add, gives her no choice but to tell her secret.
Tell me, or she goes over the edge! Who told you these things?
I can't tell you! Eliza! Stop! I know these things because I can talk to animals.
Even back then, as somebody that didn't really care about the show, I knew that this was a big deal. Real Abracatastrophe vibes from this. The climax with Eliza trying to redirect the elephants without her power is super well done. I really appreciate that this movie goes out of its way to say that Eliza's relationship with nature goes beyond her ability to talk to animals. She listens to them, she cares about them, and she protects them. And shit like that goes beyond verbal communication.
If this is what you can do without your powers, you have a greater destiny than I've even known.
I really like when she talks to Debbie about it too.
Eliza, ever since you were a little kid, you dragged home birds with broken wings and creepy toads and stuff. You didn't have special powers then. You just cared.
It kind of became another movie for that brief period there in London. Real early 2000s Disney live action movie vibes. That's like the only way I know how to put it. If you know, you know, I guess. I really like the part where all the girls at the boarding school are sitting around Eliza, really interested in hearing her story in life. It is so funny how fast they turn on a little ugly mean one. I mean, they all ugly, but you get it. I say that you don't normally get to see Eliza talking to and hanging out with girls her own age, but to know that for sure, I'd have to rewatch the show for the first time in 10 years. And I just couldn't do that. I fucking hate this motherfucking monkey. The rest of this section is just gonna be a little hate letter to Darwin. This has been weighing on my heart for way too long. He is the most annoying cartoon character of this entire fucking decade. If I could ask God to strike anyone down, it would be not Darwin, his favorite family member, so he can feel real pain. Fuck, bro, where did that come from? He's so obnoxious and stupid and pretentious and loud. Like me.
Someone's coming.
Room service? Oh, I like school already.
Bruh, sit down. Y'all don't wanna hurt him. They make him like stuck up too. He think he's somebody, and I really fucking hate that. I hate a bougie bitch. Heavy on bitch.
Liza, the shepherd's pie is heavenly. But why do they have to put these smushy green things in it? They look like bunny poop.
Oh!
Where's the bathroom?
You're standing on it.
Ah, gross. I hate you, but still gross. Is he this annoying in the cartoon too? Don't answer that. I can't stand to know how many of my audience actually watch this goofy shit. Top 5 worst cartoons ever. Here we go. Darwin, Bendy, Pork Chop, the black lawyer from that season 20 episode of Family Guy, and Darwin again. He qualifies for 2 spots.
That shit is crazy. I really don't like that guy.
If those awful people see you again, they'll hurt you. And I'm not going to let that happen.
What you gonna do, nigga? Bitch them to death? Ooh, real scary. Here come the bitch ass monkey that got a tank top on. Boy, fuck you. The Wild Thornberrys movie is a really good movie. A better movie than it has any right to be. I just don't think I know how to talk about it, even though I just tried. It's just one of those that's way better when you just sit down and take it in on your own. It's big, it's exciting, it's a really good time. Now, you know, it really just kind of makes me want to go back and watch the show, you know?
Dad, have you completely lost your ability to recognize sarcasm?
I'm not sure I ever had it, Deborah.
Today's indie animation highlight is a project I've been watching closely for a while, The Heroes of Tomorrow, or Thoughts. If you're from a certain era, this is the funniest thing in the world to you. After accidentally finding himself mixed in with a group of criminals, Rufus soon learns that there are far worse things to fear waiting for him in the shadows of Shiruwuza, a dark, indie, episodic horror comedy cartoon created by the homie Jax that is definitely for grown folks, so you young niggas stand back. The Heroes of Tomorrow isn't even out yet, but I can't help but admire the work poured into this thing. I'm in love with these designs, this world, these colors. Golly, I might start drooling again. Watching the characters and world morph and change over time as they figure the cartoon out has been a real treat. The glow up has been insane. I think the fact that Jax lets the audience in and see a lot of the production and test footage really helps build the anticipation. You can find The Heroes of Tomorrow on Patreon if you want to support production. But if you just want to be along for the ride, they're on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and don't forget to subscribe to Jax's YouTube channel, you know you want to. It's been a good while since it's been a nice horror comedy blend. It definitely happened a lot when we were kids.
Where's my scythe, Billy?
And it is going to be so dope to see something soon get added to that library.
Every great superhero needs a great movie.
Finally, a movie about me!
It's the Batmobile.
Oh, they did the car before you, bro. They're making movies about every superhero.
Halt for the mighty Abby!
Do not go in that bathroom.
You are pooping in a prop toilet!
Hey, we're trying to poop in here.
Teen Titans Go to the movies with PG.
T-double-N-T-I-T-A-N. Teen Titans Flow. Teen Titans Know. What is real trouble, baby? Teen Titans Go.
Teen Titans Go is the reboot of Teen Titans from 2004. A group of teenage superheroes that fought crime together with a little bit of that crackhead energy. It's a little splash of that Sam Jack from Jungle Fever.
Father, I stretch my hands to thee.
Oh, I like getting high. I'm a crackhead.
Teen Titans Go has been the subject of so much scrutiny and has gotten some of my peers many a bag by shitting on it. But that stuff has truly only ever existed online. I've never met a single person in real life that hasn't met this show on its level and embraced how stupid it is. You niggas are not real.
What? What?
Teen Titans Go was and still is ridiculously popular, especially with kids who it was actually made for. So in 2018, when I heard about Teen Titans Go to the movies, it made more sense to me than anything else has in a while. All Robin wants is a movie like all the other superheroes. He just wants to be taken seriously. Jade Wilson, a film producer, finally agrees to give him that, while devising a plan to rule the world by subliminally brainwashing the planet by using superhero movies. This is what Dr. Umar thought Miles was doing.
How you gonna have a cartoon bunny hopping over the white girl in the cartoon?
Bunny hopping, nigga? There's so many different superheroes in this thing, just all throughout the background. There's probably some crazy cameos in here that I would not know. The only comics I used to read were the Sonic Archies. Yes, I actually used to be a really big Sonic fan. You don't know everything about me. Huh. You know, that is a very modest Power Girl. This is like the last super mean cartoon that the kids got. Some of this shit is wild as fuck. It's just 4 teenagers disrespecting a bunch of 50-year-old comic book characters, and it is the funniest, meanest thing ever.
The Atom has arrived. Thank you. Behold.
Kryptonite party!
Halt for the mighty Abby!
Slade? Get him! Whoa, guys, I'm just playing Slade in the movie. It's me, Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, it's Shia LaBeouf's. That's even worse than being a villain.
That one's not about a hero, but come on, son, that's so funny. Nothing is meaner in this movie than the sequence where they all stop the superheroes' origins, and they see what that does to the timeline, then they go and put everybody back. Everybody talks about what they did to Batman and his parents. But they just fucking kill Aquaman. This is so wild. Now, I'd say rest in peace, but I don't know that nigga. The most I got is like Family Guy clips.
Oh wow, that's a helpful tone.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, you're kind of abusing your powers a little bit, don't you think?
You know,
It's a
actually,
little bit ridiculous.
you know what? Actually, this is all time that could be spent getting me my beverage.
I think it's good that this kind of show is still around for kids. Everything now is just so sweet, thoughtful, and wholesome. It's getting a little too much. We need a little of that contrast. Anyway, please donate to my wholesome pilot.
It's an upbeat inspire. Yeah.
I think his dad is a cop.
Right.
Now, why Cyborg gotta say that out of everybody? I'm curious. There's a part where they're on a movie set that looks just like their crib, and they all keep shitting in the prop toilet, and Robin just can't comprehend it. It is so gross, but exactly the kind of thing that would have killed me as a kid.
The toilet isn't real.
Yeah, it is. I pooped in it.
Woo, doggy, do not go in that bathroom, because I just wrecked it, baby.
That's what's up.
We're pooped in the toilet.
There is nothing quite like doing the poops in the new bathroom.
She pooped in the toilet.
No one should be using that bathroom.
You know, there was a point in time where cartoons wouldn't let the girl characters participate in the Dookie Talk. I am very glad to see that we've evolved.
Robin, do your friends know that's a fake toilet?
Wow. Do not go in there.
Will Arnett is so fucking funny as Slade. It's basically like watching kids' cartoon characters interact with Bojack.
By the way, he should be saying that he's not me, okay? Because I came out like way before he did.
Nah, I'm pretty sure you're Deadpool. Look into the camera and say something inappropriate.
There are several pockets in this where they just kind of let him go on, and they're all hilarious.
They're stronger than I thought. Not too strong, actually fairly weak compared to me. Definitely my cardio is superior. Knees up, knees up, knees up, knees up, knees up, knees up.
This movie is silly and stupid just like the cartoon, and that's definitely why I paid to see it in theaters when it first came out. But I'll never forget, I was actually kind of blown away by the fact that it was like an actual movie. I thought this was gonna be inaudible vomit like the cartoon. I was fully prepared and locked in. Like, I couldn't wait to see something so stupid just projected onto a theater screen, right? But they really take Robin's arc seriously here. In this universe, they make a movie about everybody but him.
No, they did the car before you, bro.
Batmobile, the movie. Coming vroom.
Nobody takes him and his friends seriously. All he wants is to be a real hero, get his own movie. But the very idea makes people laugh in his face. Ah, nigga soft. They give Robin so much time to actually be sad, and for the rest of the Titans to witness this and really feel his pain. There's pockets of this where there's like no gags and not even that much dialogue. It's just Robin feeling these emotions. This is the kind of thing that I get on adult animated shows for not doing sometimes. Why is the crackhead DC superhero show for babies so good at it? The Titans are good friends, at least in this movie. They're silly and immature, and while that clearly cost Robin a lot of opportunities, they consistently cheer him on and push him to apply himself to make his wish a reality. At the top of the movie, they use we a lot. We want a movie. We need a nemesis to be taken seriously. But by the top of the second act, that language switches to specifically be about Robin. His movie, his wish, his nemesis. And the rest of the Titans are all for this. They want this for him, even if that means that they'll just be in the background. When Robin is broken and embarrassed, the team makes him their own movie. Even though they just kind of use it to crack on him a little bit.
But then he grew up and he wasn't a baby no more. But he still had them baby hands, yo.
Coming up is the part that is the best.
But the turning point is when Jade says that she can't do the movie if they're in it. And Robin is put at that crossroads when he realizes that his friends have been holding him back from his dream this entire time.
We have to face it. No one takes us seriously when we're together. Maybe we should just go our separate ways.
Having a movie, being seen as legendary or respected, this stuff is really important to Robin. So important that he will change everything about who he is to get it. But he is a Teen Titan. He spends the movie looking for validation in every single place, but right in front of him.
Before the Robin, we were all alone. But he brought us together to be the team.
He may not have superpowers, but he is a superhero.
You were never a joke to us.
You are our leader.
Our hero.
Our friend.
Robin ends the movie proud of who he is, without any accolades or any form of validation. Being a team with his friends, they might be silly and goofy, but they're stronger together and they figure shit out in their own way. They can do their jobs. They just silly. Like me.
I'm proud to call myself a Teen Titan, and so are my friends.
Yes!
So laugh at us all you want, but we're still going to take you down.
I think the emotional stuff works so well in this thing because it kind of has like a big picture show thing going on. Ed, Edd n Eddy was a really silly cartoon that didn't try to tell you that the characters are real people and that you should care about them. They never made them learn their lesson or apologize to one another. They never super applied pressure to make sure that you understood the complexities of their relationships. It just tried to use the characters to make us laugh. And because we spend so much time laughing at and with these characters, the only emotion we associate with them is joy. So when they actually are in real danger or real emotional pain, we feel it really hard because we're not used to seeing them like that. It's like randomly seeing your funniest friend just burst into tears one day.
Good luck to you, Robin. I hope to one day see your movie. I think it will be very good.
Like fam, they were just shitting in a prop toilet earlier. I feel like I'm losing my mind. The animation of this movie is incredible. It is so cool to see how they elevate this cartoon. I don't know if the action here is as good as the action in like the Powerpuff Girls movie, but honestly, it's not too far off. There are some really creative action sequences in this thing that are just as cool as they are funny. Like look at this scene when the Titan Tower is burning down. This is genuinely phenomenal. Multiple different song sequences, most in different varying art styles, and they are all great to look at. The superhero movie sequence looks so damn good, it's breathtaking. So much impressive shit. This was crazy to see in the theater. I almost hooked somebody in there.
No longer a sidekick, no that's not me. Picture my booty up in 3D. I'll shake my booty in my own movie.
Ah shit, booty jokes in a children's cartoon? We are so fucking back. I have seen more asses in Billy and Mandy as a kid than I have in adulthood.
Look at me, buddy! Look at it! Look at it!
And I always really like the little stupid hand-drawn dances the characters do sometimes. Fam, is Starfire hitting the quad? Shit, this really is from the 2010s. I think the coolest thing about Teen Titans Go to the Movies is how seamlessly it fits with the rest of these movies. It has all the same energy and it's just as fun. It's a real throwback to an era where you could count on at least one of these happening in the summer. They made the silly, stupid movie that you paid to see, but you still come out of it a little closer to Robin, his friends, and their relationship. Who cares if this cartoon is stupid? You niggas grew up with Ren and Stimpy. And I say you niggas for a reason. I've hated that shit since birth. Don't you ever come at me with no happy, happy, joy, joy, nigga, I'll kill you. Man, I am really violent in this video. I need to sit down.
To the credits!
Wait! Kids, ask your parents where babies come from!
Maybe I'll win the electoral vote.
If you couldn't tell after watching the past hour, I live for when cartoons go to the theater. And I didn't even scratch the surface of some of the coolest ones. It'll probably be a while before we get another one of these, but I know for a fact that I'll be the first person in line when we do. Whether I watch the show or not. Except Rick and Morty. Not because I think the movie would be bad or anything, but every fan of that I've met smells like dog water. That theater finna be a fire hazard. Bye now. The video over.
Yeah.
It's for the bitches, nigga.
First things first, I popper freaks all the honeys, dummies, playboy bunnies, those wanting money. Those the ones I like cause they don't get Nathan but penetration. Unless it smells like sanitation. Garbage I turn like doorknobs. Heartthrob never, black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Coochie down to the socks. Rings and watch filled with rocks. And my jam knocking your Mitsubishi. Girls pee-pee when they see me. Navajos creep me in they teepee. As I lay down laws like Island Coppets. stop it. If you think they're gonna make a profit,
You the goat, Mama D. You the cat. You so good.
Yeah, she was
then split it in two as I flow with the junior mafia. I don't know what the hell's stopping ya. I'm clocking ya, Versace shade watching ya. Once you grin, I'm in, game begins. First I talk about how I dress is this and diamond necklaces, stretch Lexuses. The sex is just immaculate from the back I get.